Welcome, young adventurers, and settle in for a tale of a cursed relic, lost treasure, and a secret buried beneath the sea. Long ago, before pirates ruled the waves and before maps could name every island, a powerful crown was forged that promised endless riches but carried a terrible price. Tonight you'll hear the legend of that crown, a story of greed, betrayal, and a treasure so dangerous it was meant to be forgotten. So listen closely, because some stories are more than just legends. They are warnings. The treasure hunter files, the crown of greed, a fireside adventure story. The fire snapped and popped, sending tiny sparks up into the night like wandering fireflies. Above the flames the sky was dark and endless, and somewhere far away beyond the dunes of time and the waves of history, an ocean kept secrets no map could ever truly hold. Grady Briggs leaned closer to the crackling warmth, his older brother focus settling in the way it always did when a story was about to begin. Cole sat beside him, knees tucked up, eyes bright, the kind of bright that meant his imagination was already sprinting ahead. Murphy, their loyal dog, curled at their feet, but not asleep. Never asleep when the air tasted like mystery. His ears flicked toward the wind, then toward the brothers, as if he could feel the story coming before it was spoken. Grady reached into his jacket and pulled out the compass. The magic compass. It wasn't like any compass you'd find in a store or a museum display. The casing was dark metal, smooth, nearly weightless, and it always felt slightly warm in Grady's palm, like it was alive. At the center, a gemstone shimmered with a faint inner light, not one color but many, as if it couldn't decide whether it belonged to the earth or the stars. "Tonight!" it pulsed. Not gently, urgently. Cole leaned in. "It's doing the warning glow." Grady nodded slowly. "Yeah, like the desert mission." Murphy gave a low, quiet woof, then stared past the fire toward the darkness beyond their camp. Then the compass hummed, a soft electrical note that wasn't loud but still made the hair on Grady's arms rise. The air above the compass rippled, and a hologram shimmered to life. A blurred figure, cloaked in blue light and static mist never fully clear, as if reality itself refused to show his face. Secret Agent X. His voice came warm and steady, as if he was speaking from a world just beyond the firelight. "Grady, Cole, if you're seeing this, then the compass has found a relic tied to one of the oldest warnings ever whispered across the sea." Cole swallowed. "So, it's real." Secret Agent X's outline flickered, more real than any legend should be. The hologram paused, as if choosing the right words. "Tonight, I'm not sending you coordinates. Not yet. First, you need to understand what you're dealing with." The fire crackled louder, as if it wanted to listen too. "Long before pirates ever sailed the Caribbean," Secret Agent X began, "before maps named the islands, before the sea was filled with ships, there was an island called Aurelia." At the name, the compass gem flashed once golden. Secret Agent X continued, his voice low like a storyteller's. "Aurelia was hidden behind reefs and mist, known only to its people as the Isle of Plenty, mountains threaded with gold, rivers carrying silver dust, jungles filled with gemstones that glowed in the dark like trapped starlight." Cole's eyes widened. "That sounds like a video game island." Grady nudged him, but he didn't disagree. "For a time," Secret Agent X said, "the people of Aurelia lived in peace. They fished, they farmed, they shared, they laughed." The hologram's glow dimmed slightly, like the story was turning. "But wealth changes people when they stop seeing it as a gift and start seeing it as a weapon." The compass pulsed again. "As Aurelia's riches grew," Secret Agent X went on, "so did their hunger for more. Leaders competed, families hoarded, power became more valuable than people. The rulers demanded something greater, a symbol of endless wealth, something that would prove they deserved to rule forever." Grady watched the hologram closely. "And that's when they forged it." Secret Agent X's outline shimmered like a nod. "They ordered their master smiths to create a crown." The firelight seemed to dim, as if the flames themselves were leaning away. "Molten gold," Secret Agent X said. "Caribbean gemstones, and fragments of a fallen meteorite metal that did not belong to this world." Grady's fingers tightened around the compass, because he knew that kind of metal. The compass itself carried the same strange hum, the same starborn whisper. "They forged the crown," Secret Agent X said, "and it shone brighter than the sun." Cole whispered, "The crown of greed." "Yes," Secret Agent X replied. "They named it the crown of greed." The night felt colder around the edges of the fire. "At first it seemed like a miracle," Secret Agent X said. "Where the crown was worn, gold appeared, hidden veins of treasure revealed themselves, the island grew richer than ever." Murphy's ears flattened slightly as the compass began to thrum. "But the crown had a price," Secret Agent X said softly. It whispered. Cole's voice was small. "Whispered what?" Secret Agent X's hologram flickered, as if the answer didn't like being spoken aloud. It whispered more. The fire popped hard. "It made its wearers suspicious," Secret Agent X said. "It made them crave more than anyone else. It made them believe everyone was a thief." Grady could almost imagine it, an invisible voice sliding into someone's thoughts, turning trust into doubt, turning doubt into anger. "Soon," Secret Agent X continued, "the rulers of Aurelia turned on one another. The island burned. Families fought. Friends betrayed friends." Cole stared into the flames, seeing another fire, far older. "And in a single terrible night," Secret Agent X said, "Aurelia was swallowed by the sea." Grady's stomach tightened. "The whole island?" "Yes," Secret Agent X said. "The ocean took it, temples, towers, treasure, everything." Cole's voice barely rose above the crackle. "Did anyone survive?" The hologram's blue light softened. "Some stories say a few escaped on small boats," Secret Agent X said, "but no one returned, and no one forgot." The compass gave a slow, deep pulse, like a heartbeat. "Only the crown survived," Secret Agent X said. A hush fell over the camp. "Centuries passed," Secret Agent X continued, "and then pirates found it." At the word pirates, Cole sat up straighter. Murphy's head lifted. "The pirates who discovered the crown believed they had found the greatest treasure in history," Secret Agent X said. "They loaded their ships with gold, silver, and jewels taken from across the world." Grady pictured black sails cutting through moonlit water, barrels of coins, crates of gems, men laughing as if they'd stolen the sun. "But none of that wealth compared to the power of the crown," Secret Agent X said, "because the crown did not create gold." He paused. "It created desire." Cole whispered, "That's worse." Secret Agent X's hologram brightened, like the truth needed its own light. "Anyone who came near it began to want more," he said. "More treasure, more control, more than anyone else." The compass gem swirled, gold and blue twisting together. Crews who once trusted one another began to argue. Secret Agent X continued. Then to accuse, then to fight. Each captain became convinced someone was stealing from him. Each crewman believed he deserved more than the rest. The wind shifted. Murphy growled quietly at the darkness. "And beneath storm-dark skies," Secret Agent X said, "the fleet turned on itself." Grady could see it like a movie cannon fire flashing, ships burning, men shouting over thunder. Cannons roared, ships burned, blades flashed in the firelight. Secret Agent X said, "Brother fought brother, friend fought friend, and one by one the greatest pirate armada ever known was dragged beneath the waves." Cole's hands clenched. "All because of a crown." "All because of greed," Secret Agent X replied. "The crown of greed sank with them, along with all their stolen treasure." The hologram's voice lowered. "For centuries the ocean kept their secret." The campfire hissed as a log collapsed inward. "Until one night," Secret Agent X said, "a mysterious compass began to glow." Grady looked down at the compass in his hand. The gem pulsed like it had been waiting to hear its own name spoken. "Because some treasures are never truly lost," Secret Agent X said. "They are only waiting." The hologram paused. "And now," he said, "the waiting is over." Cole's heart seemed to beat in his ears. Secret Agent X's outline sharpened slightly, as if the story was stepping into the present. "The crown of greed is stirring again," he said. "The compass has confirmed the location of the wreckage." Grady glanced at Cole. "So it's time." "It's time," Secret Agent X agreed. Then, just when Grady expected a string of coordinates, Secret Agent X's hologram shifted and a new image flickered beside him. Another silhouette, this one brighter and younger. A boy about their age. Short, dark brown hair, roundish, friendly face, a grin that looked like it belonged on a baseball card. He stood on a dive boat, holding a deep-sea helmet like it weighed nothing. "This is Patrick," Secret Agent X said. "Call sign, P-Train." The boy in the hologram raised a hand in a casual wave. Cole blinked. "He looks normal." P-Train's grin widened in the projection. "Normal is my disguise," he said, voice cheerful. "Also, hi." Secret Agent X's hologram steadied. "Patrick is 16. He's from Colorado. He's also one of the most gifted young divers I've ever trained." P-Train shrugged like it was no big deal. "I grew up around mountains, so I figured I'd try the opposite. Deep water. Turns out it's kind of awesome." Cole looked impressed. "You dive a lot?" P-Train tapped the helmet in his arm. "Enough to know you don't mess around in the deep. You respect it. You plan, you breathe, and you never rush, even when your brain is yelling, 'Go, go, go!'" Grady smiled slightly. He liked that. A lot. Secret Agent X continued. "Patrick specializes in deep water archaeology and recovery. He can read currents, identify wreck patterns, and operate a submersible like he was born inside one." P-Train pointed a thumb toward himself. "Also, I'm really good at hockey and baseball." Cole perked up. "No way." "Way," P-Train said. "Hockey keeps you tough. Baseball keeps you patient. Diving keeps you alive." Grady nodded. "That actually makes sense." "It does," Secret Agent X said, "which is why Patrick will be your partner on this mission." The compass gem brightened. "Your goal is simple," Secret Agent X said. "Locate the wreck, recover the crown of greed, secure it in containment, bring it to the surface." Grady took a breath. "And don't let it—" "Whisper," Secret Agent X finished. The hologram's voice softened again. "The crown doesn't attack with blades," he said. "It attacks with thoughts. It makes you believe that your team is the enemy." Murphy gave a low woof of agreement, as if he understood the danger better than anyone. Secret Agent X's hologram flickered, and the sound of ocean waves rose behind his voice. "You will feel it," he warned. "Not as a voice you hear, but as an idea that suddenly feels like your own." Cole swallowed. "What if we can't stop it?" Secret Agent X's outline brightened. "Then you remember who you are," he said. "You remember what the compass stands for. And you remember that the greatest treasure has never been gold." He let that sit. "Trust," he said. "Loyalty. Family." Grady's eyes flicked to Cole. Cole nodded back. Murphy leaned his head against Grady's boot, steady and warm. Secret Agent X's hologram began to fade. "Rest," he said. "At first light you travel. P-Train will meet you at the boat." The fire crackled, and the compass hummed softly, like it was satisfied. But before the hologram vanished completely, Secret Agent X added one final line, quiet but heavy. "And, Grady, Cole—" "Yes," Grady said. "If the crown offers you everything you ever wanted." He paused. "Remember what it cost, Aurelia?" The hologram disappeared. The camp was silent except for the fire and the wind. Cole whispered, "So, we're really going after a cursed crown." Grady stared into the flame. "Yeah." Murphy gave a single determined woof, like, "About time." Cole looked at Grady. "Do you think it's going to try to mess with our heads?" Grady didn't answer right away. He turned the compass in his hand and watched the gemstone swirl like a tiny storm. "It already is," he said quietly. Cole's eyes widened. "How?" Grady nodded toward the gem. "Because the first thing I thought when Secret Agent X said golden treasure—" He stopped himself. Cole leaned in. "What?" Grady exhaled. "I thought about how cool it would be to keep a little. Like just one coin." Cole's face changed. Not fear, not judgment, just understanding. "Me too," Cole admitted. "And that's scary." Murphy's ears perked. His tail thumped once as if to say, "Don't worry, I'm still here." Grady set the compass down between them, and the three of them sat close to the fire. "Okay," Grady said. "Rule 1. Cole nodded. "We don't keep anything." Grady nodded. "Rule 2. Cole looked at Murphy. "Murphy stays with us no matter what." Murphy wagged. Grady swallowed. "Rule 3. Cole waited. Grady's voice went serious. "If either of us starts acting weird, greedy, bossy, whatever—" Cole finished it. "We call it out." Grady nodded. Cole's eyes flicked to the compass. "Do you think P-Train can handle it?" Grady thought of that grin. The helmet tucked under his arm. The calm way he talked about not rushing. "He's trained," Grady said. "And he's our age." Cole smirked. "And he plays hockey." Grady couldn't help but smile. "Yeah, that too." The fire softened, and the night seemed to breathe easier. Because somewhere beyond the darkness an ocean waited, and far below that ocean a crown waited too, not shining like a prize, but whispering like a trap. The next morning sunlight painted the horizon in pale gold as the brothers packed. Murphy paced in circles, tail wagging, ready to launch into adventure. Grady checked the compass, then checked their gear. Water bottles, lights, gloves, a sealed pouch for relic containment. Secret Agent X didn't leave room for mistakes. Cole carried their smaller bag and kept looking up, as if expecting the sky to split open and reveal the ocean. "We're going from campfire story to real life," Cole said. Grady nodded. "That's kind of our thing." By midday the salt smell hit their noses. And there it was, rocking gently at the dock, a dive boat. Not huge, but sturdy, the kind of boat that looked built for storms. On the deck, beside a compact deep-sea submersible gleaming in the sun, stood Patrick. "Call sign P-Train." He waved casually like he was greeting them at a baseball game. "Grady, Cole, Murphy," he called as if he already knew them. Murphy barked once friendly, but also like he was evaluating. P-Train laughed. "Good. I like dogs who judge character." Cole climbed aboard first, eyes scanning the sub. "That's the sub." P-Train patted the hull like it was a loyal pet. "Yep. She's a deep-sea dive sub. 2 seats, 1 dog space," he nodded at Murphy, "and enough lights to make the deep ocean blink." Grady stepped onto the deck. "You're really 16?" P-Train grinned. "Yeah, but I've been diving since I was 10. Colorado kids do weird things when they're bored." Cole laughed. "Colorado doesn't even have an ocean." "Exactly," P-Train said. "So when I finally saw one, I was like," he spread his arms, "I must explore all of it." Grady liked him immediately. P-Train held up his helmet. "Ready to go meet a cursed crown?" Cole swallowed. "It's real." P-Train's grin faded just a touch. Not fear, but respect. "Oh, it's real, and so is what it does to people." Grady looked at him carefully. "Have you dealt with cursed relics before?" P-Train hesitated, then nodded. "Not like this one, but I've seen what obsession does, even without magic." He tapped the side of his helmet gently. "That's why we use our heads. And our team. And we don't do anything alone." Murphy barked again, approving. P-Train smiled. "See, he gets it." Grady looked out over the water. Somewhere below the pirate fleet slept. And somewhere among the wreckage the Crown of Greed waited. Secret Agent X's warning echoed in Grady's mind. "If the Crown offers you everything you ever wanted, remember what it cost, Aurelia." Grady tightened his grip on the compass. "We're ready," he said. P-Train nodded once, serious now. "Then let's go find it," he said, "before it finds us." The boat's engine rumbled to life. The ocean opened ahead, and the treasure hunter files turned the page to the next chapter, one written not in ink, but in deep-water darkness, and the glow of a crown that should have stayed lost. And so the adventure begins. Subscribe now for updates on the fourth book in the Treasure Hunter Files series, The Curse of the Crown of Greed. Coming to Amazon and Kindle in late spring of 2026. Godspeed, young adventurers.
Sunken ruins, deep and old, stories whispered, yet untold. Through the jungle's emerald screen, unseen wonders intervene, dusty scrolls and cryptic lore, calling us to distant shore. A thrilling quest, the die is cast, shadows of a fabled past, adventure's breath, a wild desire, setting every soul afire.